Introduction. The family Dithecidae, commonly known as predators, diving beetles, belong to the order Coleoptera, suborder Adiphora. With more than 4,000 described species, it is the world's most species family of water battlers. All throughout it is cosmopolitan, it displays its greatest diversity in the tropics. Dithecidae comprise 10 subfamilies, 27 tribes, and 180 genera. Approximately half of the species are included in the subfamily Hydroporinae, nearly 2,000 species, and the rest of are distributed in the remaining 9 subfamilies as follows: Agavinae 370 species, Colimbetinae 130 species, Copelatinae 540 species, Coptotominae 5 species, Dithecinae 380 species, Hydroditinae 4 species, Lacopilinae 400 species, Lancetinae 22 species, Matinae 8 species, and considering the new records given in the present study, the Argentinian fauna of Dithecidae includes 8 subfamilies. Only Coptotominae and Matinae are absent. 16 tribes, 31 genera, and 119 species. Eggs, larvae, and adults of almost all these species are aquatic and live in a wide variety of freshwater habitats. They are usually found in lentic water bodies such as tips, lakes, ponds, forest puddles, large lakes, springs, phytotelmata, hygropetric sites, and alpine lakes up to 4,700 meters in altitude. In reference to logic environment, these species are most commonly observed in rivers and streams with a greatly reduced flow rate. In general, most species prefer habitats with abundant aquatic vegetation, so meso and eutrophic sites will usually feature a rich diving beetle community. Pupation occurs in cells constructed by the nature larva and land relatively close to the water. In some cases, these species are adapted to extreme environments such as freshwater bodies situated on caves or underground. In spite of being one of the most typical quoted families, Dithecidae has 3 genera inhabiting rainforest, leaf litter, and soils and mountainous areas in the Indian subcontinent and northeastern Australia. Water beetles derive from terrestrial ancestors and have acquired a suite of adaptations that enable an aquatic existence. The adults have respiratory adaptations that allow them to breathe atmospheric air, such as the presence of hydrophagia airs covering the last 2 abdominal turgets. Moreover, they have adaptations to the aquatic locomotion, such as an oval and dorsoventrally flattened body shape, and the last pair of legs broadened, flattened, and provided with natatory setae that aid in underwater propulsion. These Dithecidae are also known for playing several important roles in aquatic ecosystems, such as preying upon mosquito larvae and being good indicators of biodiversity and contamination. Several cases for the identification of adults in the South American genera Dithecidae were presented in the past. Tromeles, and even though they represent important contributions for the identification of Argentinian genera, all of them have problems that may lead to misidentification. What's that? When applied to the Argentinian fauna. Some of these problems are inclusion of genera that are absent in Argentina, exclusion of genera that are present, use of outdated synonyms and genus groups names, use of genital characters, use of sexually dimorphic characters, and lack of illustration. To provide a solution to these problems in this contribution, we present a key for identification of the subfamilies, tribes, and genera of adult Disticidae of Argentina, including all the genera known so far to be present in our country, using updated nomenclature and avoiding the use of genital and sexual dimorphic characters, or if used accompanied by the characters. Also, a large number of illustrations are included to assist in the identification process. One subfamily and 5 genera are cited for the first time for Argentina. Materials and methods. Okay.